Excellent. Hello, my name is Swapnil. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Therapy Box. Today, I have here with me Richard Cave, which I'm sure needs no introduction, and Annie from Therapy Box team. She works in project management capacity. Today, we are particularly excited to talk a little bit about our 11 Labs integration. But I don't want to steal anyone's thunder here, so I'm going to throw it over to you, Richard. So you contacted me a few days ago with real excitement. Maybe I can ask you to describe the opportunity and how you saw the sort of evolution in the market in terms of voice technology as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm a speech therapist and I work with the MND Association. And the MND Association provides education and funding for people living with motor neuron disease on all the voice banking options that are available. And, it's not our decision on what people want to choose. And we just want to make sure that what they would like to do, that they are available to do it. And we don't kind of show preference for one or the other. But our goal, as part of that, our goal is to kind of whatever choice they make, that it works on the devices and the tools in which they end up using through their progression, so that at no point, so that people can make an informed choice on voice banking, and the technology does not impair that choice. And so this is why I got in touch with you, and I'm so grateful for you and Annie and the whole team for one taking that call, and also to just really turn things around so quickly, because at the end of the day, it's the M&D Association represents around 5,000 people here in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and what we want for them is to be able to do what they want in an educated and informed way. And we know that almost everybody living with motor neuron disease are going to lose their voice. It's just, unfortunately, it's just part of it. And in my own research, as part of my master's, I kind of looked at why people want to voice bank. Why do people want to do it? And it's all about retaining identity. So how people can retain a sense of their own voice, making their own communication through Predictable or through any of the other tools. And so actually our conversation, as always, it's about people more than technology, but technology fitting around people. And that was why, I just, really happy to meet you, and always happy to meet up and actually talk about this. And the bottom line is, so many people with motor neuron disease use Predictable. They do. And so we have to look after all our community using whatever tools they need to use to be heard. And literally, to have a voice. To have a voice even when their natural voice is gone. It's that important.
Yeah, and very well said. So, for those who aren't so familiar with what we do, we are the makers of Predictable, and Richard had found this. He's found a lot of custom voice providers, and I'm going to name just a few: Acapella, Speak Unique, The Voice Keeper, and Model Talker. And then he'd found this new service provider called 11 Labs, which offer one of the higher quality voices, if I would say that modestly, and they are available online. So he threw a rather big challenge at us, and he didn't he? And he said, look, can you find a way to make this really, really simple and offer this within Predictable and do it quickly? So that was the brief. Annie, talk me through, how did we sort of take that challenge on, and what did we put together?
So we managed to look at 11 Labs. Obviously, it's only online, which is not something we'd had from the others before. So because of that, to try and make it as easy as possible for people to use and fit in with Predictable, we're trying to make sure that it can store recordings once you've spoken them, to try and decrease the latency. Because with online voices, there's obviously a concern with that going back and forth. Also making the access easy. So all you need is one code from your 11 Labs account, and you enter that in Predictable, and within 30 seconds of you entering it, you're all set up and ready to go. And then also multi-language. So something that Richard had brought to our attention is that you can use one 11 Labs voice that you've recorded in English, and it will speak pretty well in other languages. So with Predictable's multi-language feature, we've tried to make that really simple to use across multiple languages with the 11 Labs voices. So I think that's sort of a summary of what we've done with Predictable.
And I think, what I really like is actually, we are not shying away from the issues here. There are issues in which we need to look at if we're going to make this person-centered, we need to recognize the strengths and the limitations of this technology. And one of them you mentioned was about the delay. That, if somebody types a message, there's going to be a delay, or indeed, they may not have internet access. So how will that work? And I know that you've been looking at that, having online and offline voices available. And that is I think this is the thing. This technology is, an AI-driven technology, and there's lots of kind of excitement and PR and marketing about AI, whatever that is. But I think what's important in our discussions that we've always had is that we recognize that actually, although there are benefits here, there are limitations of which we need to mitigate in some way. And I think that was why, that was why it's been so good working together, because it's not just doing the thing, we're doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing by our community, and that's we're kind of just hoping that we can turn that around.
Yep. And very, very well put, Richard. And we took that particular aspect on quite seriously. We deliberated quite a lot, didn't we, Annie, internally to sort of see, that limitation of online voices, which means if you are in a black spot, you lost the ability to speak. And we wanted to overcome that challenge. So we've got some ideas. Annie, do you want to talk through a little bit, which sort of not just serves the purpose of overcoming the online need, but also solve some of the latency-related issues? What have you come up with?
Yep, so what we're going to do is, so in Predictable you have your history and you have your phrase bank. So what we're trying to do is to, once you've spoken something and it goes into your history, if you ever speak that again from your history or from your phrase bank, that will just pull the audio recording instead of linking back to 11 Labs again to regenerate it. So that way hopefully the latency is reduced. But that also means that you can speak things that you've already spoken if you're not online. So hopefully if you want to get prepared, you could speak those in advance so that you're not left with no speech in the case that you end up offline. Obviously you can always go back to a different voice, but some users are obviously unable to access the settings. So it sort of helps with that small point of it.
And also, what I like with Predictable 7 and also in other apps, but how actually you can choose from two voices at the same time. You can choose, and so kind of one idea is that if you're in a black spot or if there's a problem, then there's always another voice, and so there's an online voice and there's the 11 Labs voice, which may itself be offline as well, because of what you've said, that the messages get downloaded and the history is all downloaded, so it doesn't need to be dragged from online. So it's good.
Yeah, I know what it just makes me feel, and particularly quite excited about this, that it's such a nice collaboration of somebody from clinical world and us from technology and development world coming together to come up with a solution that now enhances experience for our users. Because you brought the unmet need to us, we tried to solve it, and we've now come up with a solution that is eventually going to benefit our users. So it's a really nice way to show how the collaboration sort of paves the way for positive outcomes for all of us.
I think everyone plays to their strengths, because you guys are technical marvels, and I don't say that loosely. I say that literally, but also kind of you're willing to partner with the M&D community, and so just kind of figure out kind of just how things can actually work, not purely from a technical perspective, but from a person perspective in their lived experience when they are going to communicate, wherever they are, whoever they're going to talk to, whatever they're going to talk about, what happens next. And actually, that is where I think, you know, we're kind of working in these types of partnerships is really powerful. And you know, I think we just need to do more of it.
Yeah, totally agree. And with that being said, I would like to say that we are going to jointly host a webinar. So for those who are interested in knowing in detail, in real time, how you integrate your 11 Labs voice, we've given you just a little bit of a teaser in this little piece of video, but we can go deep dive in the webinar and we can show you how to create the voice, the pro voice, and I promise you'll be blown away with the voice quality. And Rich has got his own voice, which is simply indistinguishable from his real voice as well. So if you want to know more about all that, then do join the webinar. We will post details of where to get it. If you are interested in knowing more about Predictable or M&D associations, we'll put links for that as well. And I hope to see you all shortly in webinar. Thank you. Bye.